Good afternoon and welcome to Muskegon Rotary. My name is Tim Arter and I have the pleasure of serving as your president this year. Today's program will be the history of St. Cecilia Music Center. We will begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance and a reflection later by Kathy Moore. And we do have 3 new members being inducted today. We will recite the 4-way test at the end of the meeting. And I'm going to tell you this twice today. Next week, we're back at the Delta. So let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As an organization, Rotary Clubs make a meaningful difference in the world. As a Rotarian, we have all pledged to make a meaningful difference in our community and beyond. Making a meaningful difference begins with self-reflection. By examining our values, strengths, and passions, we can identify areas where our unique contributions can have the most impact. Engaging in community services such as volunteering not only benefit those we serve, but also enrich our own lives by fostering a sense of purpose and connection. Ultimately, making a meaningful difference involves aligning our actions with our core values, continuously reflecting on our own experiences, and seeking opportunities to contribute positively to the lives of others. Let's continue to use our limited time on this earth to create positive, meaningful experiences. Thank you.
At this time, please return to your seats and enjoy your lunch. We'll be resuming in a little while. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, Rotarians will
to enrich the quality of life for residents of West Michigan. This mission is accomplished through celebrating our legacy of women's leadership, maintaining our historic building, and presenting world-class chamber, jazz, and folk concerts through our presenting series, and providing accessible music education opportunities through our School of Music. So, in September 1883, 9 Grand Rapids women met to form a music society because at the time they were not permitted to join other groups or play on other stages simply because they were women. And so they said, "Bump this noise, we are starting our own club." And I'm pretty sure "bump this noise" is an exact quote from 1883. Originally known as the St. Cecilia Society, the club's membership grew quickly. Here is a short video about the history of St. Cecilia Music Center.
As the oldest performing arts organization in West Michigan, St. Cecilia Music Center has had a long and venerable history. The story begins in 1883, when 9 musically talented women led by Ella Matthews Pierce gathered on a September afternoon to form a society to promote the study and appreciation of music in all its branches and to encourage the development of music in the community. They chose to name their new organization after Saint Cecilia, the patron saint of music. In the late 1880s, the members began planning for a building of their own, designed by prominent Chicago architect Henry Ives Cobb, who was a protege of Carnegie Hall's architect. The building at 24 Ransom is the only building in the United States to have been built by women and operated solely for the purpose of music. The completed building was opened to the public in 1894. St. Cecilia Music Center is truly the mother of the arts in Grand Rapids. The predecessor to the Grand Rapids Symphony was organized under St. Cecilia's sponsorship in 1919. Opera nights started in the 1960s, sowing the seed for the creation of the West Michigan Opera Association, which evolved into today's Opera Grand Rapids. Grand Rapids Civic Theater also traces its beginnings to St. Cecilia Music Center. St. Cecilia Music Center has also hosted thousands of community events since its founding, including an address by Susan B. Anthony in 1899 in support of women's suffrage. During World War I, the center served national needs by headquartering the Red Cross in the building. In the 1950s, the local art center held art classes in the building under the auspices of the GI Bill. As with every story, St. Cecilia wasn't without its share of challenges. It was slated for demolition in 1966 in the wake of downtown urban renewal. Fortunately, the building was saved by members of the community who recognized its great value as a regional asset. Since 1971, the building has been listed on the National Register of Historical Places.
Every time I
All right, we
walk
can
up
stop
those
that one
stone
there.
steps.
Perfect. So as you can see, the organization and the building have a fascinating history. Going back to when the building was actually erected in 1894, more than 10% of Grand Rapids population at the time actually showed up for the ceremony, which is pretty incredible. And Amy Fay, a visiting pianist and speaker at the ceremony, remarked, "Your building of the clubhouse, ladies, I regard as one of the most favorable signs of the times. Such a thing has never been done before by women for music in the history of the world," which is pretty amazing. It's important to know not only that St. Cecilia was erected entirely by women, but it was also community funded, which was very unique at the time. The majority of performing arts centers were typically funded by one very wealthy person or a small group of very wealthy people, and that's really awesome. But this group of women actually raised all of the funds needed to build the building, and they did that through a lot of really amazing fundraisers. So they took over local Grand Rapids newspaper for the day, and all of the papers sold that day went to this fund. They also had a Mile of Pennies fundraiser where they literally tried to collect enough pennies to stretch a mile. So they were very creative and very innovative to raise the funding needed to build this building. The building also hosted the National American Suffrage Association convention in 1899, which was a huge deal because it was actually the first city outside of the U.S. Capitol to host this convention. And so bringing such an important group of women to Grand Rapids was a big deal, and St. Cecilia Music Center was a big part of that decision-making process, which is awesome. We also took on a huge renovation campaign in the 1970s, and the major focus of that campaign was accessibility. So accessible entry to the building, stage, and all 3 floors was installed at this time. And this achievement was celebrated with a concert from violin virtuoso and disability advocate Itzhak Perlman, which is pretty amazing. And there's also a commemorative plaque that still exists on the outside of our building that lets everyone know that St. Cecilia Music Society is a barrier-free facility and that music is for everyone, which is still an incredibly relevant message today. Here are some historic photos of the building. So the stage here is our 625-seat Royce Auditorium. And there have definitely been renovations over the years, but it exists very much like it did when the building was originally constructed, which is pretty fabulous. And we also have a large Tiffany stained glass window on the landing of the lobby, which was donated in the early days of the organization and depicts St. Cecilia, who is, of course, the patron saint of music. These are some photos of our building as it exists today at 24 Ransom Avenue in downtown Grand Rapids. So you can see, a more updated picture of Royce Auditorium. We also have a ballroom space and a recital hall. We also have a gallery space, which I think is pretty fabulous, which features a new local artist every month. And we have a curator who programs that space. Of course, I'd be remiss to talk about a 130-year-old building and not answer one of the questions that we get pretty constantly, which is the building haunted? We've actually had many ghost hunters in the building over the years. So there's lots of folks who hunt ghosts in Michigan, I guess. And, we get contacted by them quite often to come and check out the facility. And I think my favorite story is we had a group of ghost hunters in one evening for an overnight. And there were certain parts of the building that they weren't permitted to go to. But all of their ghost hunting equipment was just going wild the closer they got to our dressing rooms. And so they weren't able to go in the dressing room. So they called our building director and said, "Carla, can we please get in there?" And she said, "Sure, go for it." So they went back into the dressing rooms, and there was actually a light on that shouldn't have been on, and there was a toilet running. And so when they shut the light off and fixed the toilet, all of the ghost hunting equipment calmed down. So we like to think that there are ghosts in the building who take pride in it and take care of it just as much as we do, which is pretty amazing. So talking a bit about St. Cecilia Music Center as it exists today, we continue to serve the same mission of our founders, the mission that they established 140 years ago. And today we serve more than 10,000 people through our presenting series and School of Music programs. And as a community venue, we're rented by groups from across the region, and the building sees more than 50,000 people annually. The presenting series features up to 15 concerts a season, and that includes performances from the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center, a jazz series, which is actually supported by the National Endowment for the Arts this year, and our folk series, which features bluegrass music, singer-songwriter, kind of every folk genre you could imagine. Much of the success of what we do as an organization and our focus as an organization is really building community around music and doing that in West Michigan. And I think, this success is reflected in the strength of our partnerships, much like our 13-year collaboration with the Chamber Music Society of Lincoln Center. So they come and visit us 3 to 4 times a year and curate programming with their musicians who who live in New York and come and visit West Michigan, 3 or 4 times a year for these performances and absolutely love it, and have definitely made a home at St. Cecilia Music Center. Again, each concert takes place in Royce Auditorium and features a post-concert reception where the audience is actually invited upstairs for free drinks and snacks, and you can often meet the artists, which is a really fun time. I especially love seeing the young people who get to come up and, meet some of their favorite musicians and create those special, memorable moments. As far as our School of Music goes, we engage more than 3,000 individuals a year with opportunities for youth and adults that take place in our building and throughout schools in Grand Rapids. So now we're going to watch a short video about the impact of our School of Music programs.
Of all ages and skill levels to learn and grow their musical skills. From youth and adult band and orchestras to summer camps and our in-the-classroom outreach programs, St. Cecilia Music Center's School of Music fosters a passionate community of musicians and instructors alike.
The sound is amazing just to hear, the different pieces and parts of music come together.
An instrument is really fun to play. You have a new skill. Music is kind of like a language.
You can make awesome friends, and playing on stage is one of the biggest parts of showing how much you've worked.
The kind of love and creativity that you get from those teachers really helps you to push yourself forward.
You get the chills, and it echoes when you're playing. It's amazing.
St. Cecilia's youth programs offer students in grades 3 through 12 opportunities to practice, perform, and perfect their instrument of choice, whether as part of an ensemble or attending one of the summer camps.
My goal is that students have a really inspired and nurtured experience. When they come together as an ensemble, magic happens.
To be able to add all those nuances, the musical elements that you can't quite maybe always get to in a school program, being a really tight, fine-tuned machine of an orchestra. I think that's the biggest experience that I would like them to have.
When you see that moment of they've been working on something and the student finally gets it, it is the coolest ever. You can feel it in your soul.
Friendships are built here. They definitely build bonds, especially when they're having to practice together and perform together. And that is something that could be very long lasting.
Music is a gift that can shape your life and bring joy to your life every day. And that is our first goal here.
St. Cecilia's adult programs welcome many different skill levels. The Grand String Orchestra meets weekly during the school year, emphasizing having fun in an informal atmosphere.
With our adult ensembles, we come from all walks of life. And once a week, we come together and we have a variety of ages, from 18-year-old to a 92-year-old in the Grand Strings Orchestra. And just forming those relationships and making music together, there's just nothing better.
For those at the semi-professional level, Beer City Winds brings together musicians for a symphonic band experience during the summer. Outside the walls of St. Cecilia, in-the-classroom programs are offered in partnership with several Grand Rapids schools to promote music education opportunities for students at no cost to the schools or participants. Strings to Schools program brings an instructor into 2 different GRPS elementary schools 3 times per week to offer beginning string instruction with a concert at St. Cecilia at the end of the year.
It's a very fun program where you learn how to use the violin for free.
It helps me really well in music. I really love playing it. You learn a lot of new skills also. That makes me feel so much joy.
I just want them to be able to take something and know they can do it in something that's very difficult. With practice and hard work, you can do it.
The Jazz and Folk in School and in-concert student experience brings 2 separate assemblies to 3 schools per year, one featuring a jazz ensemble in February and a second featuring a folk group in March. All of the students are bused to St. Cecilia in April to see these groups in concert in Royce Auditorium. Music brings students together, building confidence and igniting curiosity and appreciation for the arts through the magic of music.
Going to St. Cecilia really helps me create beautiful music.
There's a lot of great people here, and they love to play their instruments.
All of my instructors are really nice. You can also make more friends along the way.
You should do it because it's the best thing in the whole entire world.
We believe that music is for everyone, no matter your age, background, or level of ability. St. Cecilia Music Center's School of Music strives to encourage each participant to expand their musical horizons and grow as well-rounded individuals.
So that's just the best. Having had the great opportunity to work in the arts for quite some time, and anyone else who works in the arts can probably attest to the same thing. We hear so many amazing stories about how practicing music or playing music or being in an orchestra has really been life-changing for young people and for adults. As a development director, I've been working really hard with the team to come up with ways to kind of put those stories into data. So getting some numbers around, okay, we know that we're making this impact, but what does that actually look like? And that's been a really fun process. So we've worked with the students to gather information. We've worked with their parents. We've worked with educators. And it's been really heartening to see 77% of our parents of Strings to Schools students saw an increase in their child's confidence and noted that they were a better team player after participating in these programs. So, of course, we were really happy because 100% of parents said that their kids became better musicians. So, goal number one, obviously we would love them to, learn how to play music, but it's also incredibly important just to know how holistically the arts are really helping to shape and impact the well-being of students. Of course, the students had great things to say too. 92% associated music with happiness and fun, and 65% of students made a new friend while in strings class. So of course, those are all things that we love to see. I wanted to conclude with just a quote from one of our School of Music students. Music is like a universal language that brings people together. While you're playing music, it's a moment where everyone works together to produce something that brings peace, joy, and relief from stress. And I think that quote really reflects the intention of the women who started the organization 140 years ago, and that this organization, St. Cecilia Music Center, continues to bring people together through music. That concludes our talk today. I also wanted to point out that you've got flyers on your table. All of those actually have a discount code that's specifically for Muskegon Rotary members. If you'd like to join us at an upcoming chamber music concert, there's information on those flyers, and I'm going to try to get that code in the newsletter too, so you guys have access to that. So thank you all so much, and we can take 2 questions.
Just kind of a comment and a bit of a question, but Chuck Royce, the auditorium's named for Chuck Royce, and
Yep.
Chuck was a prominent philanthropist and perhaps the largest benefactor of of St. Cecilia, and Chuck was a very long time an active Rotarian in downtown Grand Rapids.
That's very true. And thanks to Chuck's legacy, we actually this year just received a grant from Grand Rapids Rotary to support our scholarship programming for students. So that philanthropy definitely continues to have a really positive impact. So we appreciate the Royces very much.
So Tiffany, due to our longtime acquaintance through theater, you know, theaters have always been a suspected place of haunting. They call it a ghost light for a reason.
Yes.
And I just wondered, while you were working at Civic Theater, if you ever had an opportunity to encounter PJ.
I didn't. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think ghosts are fun. I would love to meet a ghost, but I haven't had that opportunity yet. Maybe someday. Fingers crossed.
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. Very enlightening. I've been to a couple of performances there, and it's an amazing experience. So thank you for that. And as an honorarium, I think you know that we are contributing to an organization that does disaster relief, Shelter Box, and they pair up with Rotary International to provide temporary housing during their disaster work that they do all across the world. So thank you very much. Thank you. At this time, Mike, we have some birthdays. Bob Lukens, Tim Tuthill, Ron Zuzek, Tim DeMumbrum, and Stephanie Tushak. I think we... Is that a surprise, Stephanie? Okay, well, she's here, and so let's sing happy birthday to all those that have birthdays this week. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Well, just in case you wanted to know, Stephanie, we asked people to make a contribution of $10 to our Caring Connection, which helps benefit our fellow Rotarians. So for those of you that have an interest in making a contribution, we have envelopes up here, or you can go to what I understand is a QR code in the weekly rim. So at this time, we're going to turn it over to our spotlight. It's going to be Trey Johnson of Wonderland Distilleries. And that location, Wonderland Distilleries, will be one of our Poor's Community Happy Hours this year on Friday, May the 2nd.
My name is Trey Johnson, and I am currently the general manager of Wonderland Distilling. Wonderland gives back to the community because this community has done so much for us. It is, as a small business, it is very difficult to have just things go as smoothly as possible. And so just getting a little bit of help from the community has been tremendous for us. And I personally, working before as a bartender and as management now, I don't know where we would be without that community help. And it has been absolutely as gracious as possible, and even at times overwhelming to see the all of the help and support that we've gotten. And so we just want to do our due diligence and help out wherever we can and give back, because you gotta water the grass in your backyard as well, and because we will eventually benefit from that. As there's an old saying I like saying, a high tide raises all ships. It doesn't matter where it is. I just want, not just me, all of Wonderland wants to see all of Muskegon thrive, and so this is one of the ways that we can do that. The happy hours are just very fun. I remember bartending the previous 2 or 3 years. And it's just a lot of fun seeing all of the people join in and be happy. And, just seeing the dining room of Wonderland fill up is just always so fun. And, being able to tell people about these drinks that we're making up for them and giving a little bit of insight to just what we do personally, seeing what the Rotary does for not only Wonderland, but for other establishments here in town. It is just really nice to see all of that come into Wonderland and enjoy what we have to offer in the space. Welcome to Wonderland.
May the 2nd, remember that one. It's one of our best attended happy hours that we have. At this time, I'd like to call forward the new members and their sponsors for the inductions. Eugenia Seifert with her sponsor, Heidi Seitzema. Kathy Covington with her sponsor, Jenny McNeil. And Michelle Gravelin with her sponsor, Emma Peterson. Sure, come on.
Great. Thank you. I'm Heidi Seitzema, and I have Eugenia Seifert here. She is a dedicated real estate professional with Nexus Realty since she's moved to town here, with a passion for helping especially first-time home buyers get into that big decision to purchase a home. Before transitioning into real estate, Eugenia built a 19-year career in philanthropy, near and dear to my heart, of course, including fundraising and event management. She held leadership roles at the Vail Valley Foundation and the Ski and Snowboard Club Vail, where she managed donor portfolios and knocked fundraising goals and high-profile events out of the park. And she's been really great at fostering relationships, which helps to transition here to a new community. Eugenia is a native of New Hampshire, attended I'm going to be curious here if anyone knows these, the New Hampton School Go Huskies. And she went on to earn a Bachelor of Science in Sport Management from the Colby Sawyer College Go Chargers. So remember that for future. And she's been a lifelong athlete and was honored with inductions into both schools' athletic halls of fame for her achievements in alpine skiing, soccer, and softball. Her journey has taken her from New Hampshire to Colorado and now to North Muskegon, where her husband Brody Seifert grew up. She and Brody are raising their two sons, Fisher, who is 6, and Brooks, who is 3, and they keep them active with hockey, football, and plenty of outdoor adventures. And when she's not working with clients or spending time with her family, she enjoys giving back to her community, including Rotary, staying active, and continuing to grow in her industry. So, Eugenia Seifert.
Go ahead and give it, Jen.
Just to move over. All right. Well, I'm Jenny McNeil, and I'm happy to introduce Kathy Covington. Kathy Covington is a dedicated leader with a deep commitment to serving our community. She is a lifelong resident of Muskegon Heights. She has spent her career advocating for families, improving healthcare access, and fostering meaningful change in the areas of child support enforcement, family court services, and community health. With 37 years of experience in the legal and public service sectors, she went to her new job, was at the 20th Circuit Court. Her extensive knowledge assisted families to navigate legal processes and family challenges. In September, I'm happy to say that she took on a new leadership role as the CEO of Muskegon Family Care, which is, most of you should know, is a federally qualified health center in Muskegon Heights. Under her leadership, MFC continues its mission to provide quality healthcare and support services to the community. She is committed to strategic growth, stakeholder engagement, and ensuring accessible healthcare for all. Beyond her professional career, she's been involved in lots of community services, serving on lots of boards, including the Domestic Violence Advisory Committee and the Muskegon Rescue Mission. She's a member of the Women's Division Chamber of Commerce and has played an active role in mentoring and recruiting young professionals. So I'm very excited that she is joining Rotary here today.
Thank you. That's nice.
Okay, last but not least, I am honored to introduce my colleague, Michelle Gravelin, who you've met. She's been a guest here several times. Michelle lives in Norton Shores near Hoffmaster State Park, and she's been married to Joe for 34 years. She enjoys reading, cooking, going for walks, and of course, boating in the summer. She's very close to her 3 adult children, and in fact, she loves to spend every Saturday with her daughter, going for coffee and hitting all the local grocery establishments. She and her husband Joe serve as ministry small group leaders, and Michelle also serves the kindergartners at Harvest Bible Chapel in Spring Lake. Michelle has worked for Trinity Health for over 20 years, and she started as an occupational therapist, then was in a couple different management roles, and then was promoted to Director of Quality, Risk, Safety, Accreditation, and Patient Experience. And finally, the role that she's in today, Director of Community Health and Wellbeing at the Health Project for Trinity Health Muskegon, Shelby, and Grand Haven. In this role, she and her team are charged with implementing the Community Health Needs Assessment, where housing and homelessness, childcare, and access to healthy food are the top 3 identified needs in our Muskegon area community. Michelle got her BS in occupational therapy at Western Michigan University, okay, her MBA in healthcare management, and her Doctor of Education in organizational leadership and development from Cornerstone University. I don't know, do they have a mascot? Okay. She's also a certified professional in healthcare quality. Michelle is excited to join Muskegon Rotary to deepen her connections with community members and leaders, and she hopes this will enhance her understanding of the needs of our community to better serve both the community and our patients. Thanks, Mary.
So if our new members would move over, our new members. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, Eugenia, Michelle, and Kathy, you have been chosen for membership in Muskegon Rotary Club as a person of good character, high ethical standards, heart for service, and ideals of Rotary. Fellowship and friendship are the first aims and rewards of Muskegon Rotary membership. You will enjoy a network of leaders and professionals who are committed to welcoming and mentoring you. We are admitting you into Muskegon Rotary Club and to the Fellowship of Rotary throughout the world. Membership is an honor and a privilege with its corresponding obligations. Your regular attendance will nurture your understanding and commitment to our principal motto, service above self. Every member is expected to perform his or her share of club service, community service, participation in fundraisers to support our charitable beneficiaries, the ideal of friendship and networking, and as you expect to receive, so must you also give. If you accept these obligations, please say, I do. I do. Thank you. Lastly, I have a challenge for you to share the gift of membership in Rotary. Invite another person with your same qualities of character to join Muskegon Rotary in the next 6 months. Do you accept this challenge by saying, I do? I do. Well, thank you. Eugenia, Michelle, and Kathy, in the name of the Rotary Club of Muskegon, I hereby formally admit you to membership in this club. I now provide you with a pen, a 4-way test, and a directory. Lots of gear here. We'll send those down. Thank you. And then take one each. So I think we got all of the tables empty up here, so we've got it all out. Rotary members and guests, please rise and welcome the newest Rotarians in the world, Eugenia Seifert, Michelle Gravelin, and Kathy Covington. Thank you very much. And now we have some announcements. There's some people who have requested to appear, so.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I've been told by Tim that I need to keep this under an hour, so I'm going to make it quick, all right? So I'm here representing the DEI committee. The DEI committee is endorsing an upcoming screening of Crip Camp at the Fronthal Theater, a conglomeration of local disability service organizations, including Disability Network West Michigan, Pioneer Resources, HCA Services, the MAISD, and Camp Sunshine are hosting this screening, and it chronicles a summer camp experience of kids with disabilities from the 60s and 70s, and then kind of transitions into talking about the disability civil rights movement in the 60s and 70s. So this is really interesting civil rights history that a lot of people don't know a lot about. We're going to have a reception at the Fronthal. Oh, I should tell you the date. It's going to be Tuesday, April 15th. We're going to have a reception at 5:30 that will have hors d'oeuvres and nonprofit exhibitors, as well as a cash bar available. And then we're going to have the film at 6:30. And then after the film, we're going to have some local members of the disability community be panelists, and we're going to talk to them about their life experience and try to have a discussion about how we can be a more inclusive and accessible community. So you should come out to that. You can RSVP through Disability Network West Michigan's website, and if you're looking for more info, the trailer is also available there, and I also just had the opportunity to be on the Muskegon Rising podcast, so more information there. Thank you.
What I really want to tell you is that I became a grandfather 11 days ago. and Emily became an aunt. Anyway, Roger Morgenstern, here just to remind everyone that we have a joint service project with the Grand Rapids Rotary Club on Saturday, March 29th. All the information is on page 6 of this week's RIM. There is a QR code, and I tried this out today. If you look at the QR code on your computer and you put your smartphone up to it, you'll get to the Kids Food Basket site. We have to register through there. If you have any technical issues, give me a call, and then I'll call my daughter Emily, and we'll figure it out. No, but I'd be happy to help. If you have any issues, I'd be happy to help sign you up. It's geared for both Rotarians, spouses, partners, and children, because we're going to be decorating lunch bags as well as filling sack suppers. Yes, Mary Beth. Children ages 4 to 15, I believe, we can do the decorating, and then 16 and above, they can come and help us with the food. So thank you. Hope to see you there.
Roger's a little taller than me. Meredith Smiley. A week from Sunday, we kick off our March Madness Brave Rotarians contest. So there is a clipboard going around. I would love to hit 64, where we can do a full bracket of men and women, and you can earn a chance to win a Paul Harris Fellow. So somewhere in this room is the clipboard. You can sign up. The last page, there is also a QR code if you want to pay by credit card, or you can see me afterwards. I will also take cold hard cash as well as a check made out to the Muskegon Rotary Foundation. Thank you.
Dave Alexander, President-elect. We are exploring a international friendship exchange through Christy Pollock at the Student Exchange Committee, and we're looking to bring in a group of Rotarians from Abuja, Nigeria. That is where Michi's home club is at. And she does not know about this, so please don't, and we don't know if it's going to happen, but we are in the process of getting all the visas ready and to go. There are 8 that would be visiting us from June 12th through June 19th. There will be 7 women and 1 gentleman. And we would be looking for host rooms for folks to help out. I know that Baker College may help us explore using some of their apartments that might be available for that week. This is going to allow them to come here for a week and then on to the Rotary International Convention the next week in Calgary. We would like to do a return. Our international people would love to put together something where we'll go return to visit their club in the calendar year of 2026. So it is June 12th through the 19th. If you're not going to be hosting, I'm sure you're going to be wanting to meet them in social settings and maybe taking them out to the favorite thing that you like to do in the summer here in Muskegon. Thanks.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me? I'm Tim Lipan. Today I'm representing the Social Committee and Brianna Scott. First of all, I have 2 events I'd like you to consider. So if you want to pull out your phones here and check your calendars. First of all, the Social Committee is going to be having another Rotary After Hours. This time it'll be at the Muskegon Area Career Tech Center. It's going to be March 18th from 5:30 to 7. And the students there will be preparing us and serving us some great hors d'oeuvres. We'll have a brief presentation by the Career Tech Center staff, and then guided tours of this unbelievably great jewel we have in Muskegon. 17 different programs there, and we'd love to have you attend. Great chance for networking, and then learn a little bit more about something very special in Muskegon. Number 2 event is this. It's the Rotary District Conference, and on behalf of Brianna Scott, our district governor, I encourage you to attend, but I want to give you some details so that you can really think this through and see if it would be beneficial to you. It's May 3rd and 4th. That's a Saturday and a half a day on Sunday. Check your calendars on that. There's going to be some panel discussions, and some of those discussions include how to create a large signature event, how to inspire financial giving. For you nonprofit execs out there, this probably covers a lot of detail other than just the Rotary. How to become an irresistible club, leadership and succession planning. And then there are breakout sessions that you'll be able to attend, fundraisers that work, vision facilitation, engaging youth in our community, and managing change. So those are just some of the breakout and panel discussions that you'll learn. There's also opening ceremonies and club recognition, and a performance by the internationally known magician Franz Harary. If you don't know that name, Google it, and then you'll know what we mean. The cost is $175 for the entire event. What you get, though, are 4 meals, Franz Harary, which you pay about $100 at Vegas to see, and there's a dance party afterwards. So please consider all that. We'll be making more announcements on this event and trying to help you understand what's going to go on and see the value. Again, you have a flyer on your table. Check it out. And I think that's it. Thanks for the time, Tim.
Yes, I think the flyer has a QR code, am I correct, Tim? So that it'll take you to the registration, and it's pretty self-explanatory once you get to that point. At this time, we'll call upon the raffle. I'm not sure who has the raffle. Ed, today? First drawing for $5. $5. $7172. $10. 7146. $20. 7085. In the back. So as he's making his way there, you're getting your second alert. We're meeting at the Delta next week. We say that because about this time we normally are here and people begin to think that next week we start coming here on a regular basis. That's not the case. Our program next week will be Wimserdix celebrating 55 years of service to West Michigan. And so at this time, let's please rise to recite the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.